Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from the perspective of a mental health counselor. So I'm excited, but a little bit less excited about the Big Brother Canada season 11 premiere because of the fact that there's no live feeds and they're doing this digital daily thing of which I have still seen none. But to me, like the live feeds make Big Brother. But anyways, this is the first season of Big Brother Canada that I'm covering, so I'm gonna do my best. Hopefully, things pick up and get better with time. So we started off. Um, the lovely Arissa brought us into the show. We saw like a peep into the house. It looks like it's some murder mystery theme.
I want you to know this season will be full of suspense and intrigue. Do you think you can handle that?
Yes.
I know. Well,
It's interesting because Big Brother Canada seems to do different themes for their houses. For people who only have watched the US version, it's like one house. They might renovate it a little bit, but it's not like a themed house per se. So there's a murder mystery theme. They got all their outfits on. This was just the introduction. You saw their cast videos or their intro videos, and everyone was let into the house.
okay, well then you're ready to play. All right, well, you may now enter.
They met up with each other. They had on some pretty cool outfits. I was watching how everyone was interacting. I took a few notes. I mean, there wasn't a ton of things going on. One thing that I noticed right away was how Amal was telling the guys about all these different things that happened in past seasons. She was unafraid to just openly be like, yeah, I'm a super fan. I know everything about the game. I think that put a target on her back, or that will put a target on her back eventually when they get to talking. It looked like when Zach and Ty got in the house, they kind of made an agreement. And I thought that was interesting too, because I picked Zach and Ty to be an alliance. And I said they will make final two together as an alliance. That was my prediction. If you want to go back to my prediction post, that's what I said. And he might be the guy who forms a final two with this guy, where he's doing the comps and the other guy is doing the strategy. A la season 16 of BBUSA, Cody Derrick. That's the reason why I'm putting him at number 2. It might be unpopular or a strange pick, but hey, I'm here to make big moves in the preseason, y'all. Big moves. And that leaves us with my number 1, which is Zach. And the top 3 people that I predicted actually happened to go into the house first, which were Zach, Ty, and Santina, which kind of makes me feel like they won't be the final 3 because it looked like Zach and Ty were more so wanting to work together. Santina didn't really seem to mesh or bond with them or anything like that. So we get to this first HOH tournament, but before that, they were doing their introductions. Hope seemed to stand out. He was a very energetic. He was very lively and personable. He was getting up. He was dancing. He was twerking, like everything you see in the video. You saw it there in the house, and he made everyone laugh. He seemed to gravitate towards Roberto. And I have to admit, I said that I think Roberto is going to go out first. I don't necessarily think so anymore. Roberto, on paper, looked a certain way to me, like just jock that is going to get out immediately type thing. But he seems pretty smart, actually, and a little bit strategic, honestly. Kuzi was just like herself too. She had this big introduction speech, outgoing personality. I think people are gonna like her. Daniel, Daniel gives me Big D vibes. So Arissa tells the house guests about the murder mystery theme. So we get into this HOH tournament. So the HOH tournament is going to be done in two parts. There's going to be one part who is going to determine the HOH, and there's going to be a second part who is going to determine who will not be the dead last loser. And I think that that is also the power of veto competition, if I'm not mistaken, after the winner of the HOH competition. So the dead last loser is a twist this season on BB Can, where the person who finished in dead last automatically is up for eviction. There will be two other selections for eviction, but the person who finishes last in the comps is automatically going to go there. So people like to throw competitions, and there's people who don't care if they win competitions, but now that adds a little spice of incentive for them not to be the worst. And we already saw this play out a little bit in the strategy, because they all had to pick partners for this HOH comp. And Hope and Roberto, Roberto was instantly telling Hope on the side, he was like, we don't want to finish dead last, but we also don't want to win. And Hope looked like he looked like he might have been wanting to win, but then he kind of went with what Roberto said. He seemed to be cool with that. Him and Roberto seemed to have built up a good rapport already. So Santina and Michael were having the same discussion during the comp, and they were determining whether they were going to win or not. They were going back and forth on that. Ultimately, they were like, okay, let's win this thing. So they ended up winning the first part. Part 2 is coming up today, and I'm going to be able to hopefully watch, review, recap that, but not too much happened in episode 1. I'm interested to see how things go going forward, but I will say I definitely feel like I'm missing something, because with BBUSA 24, it was a thing for me to watch the HOH, and then after a couple of hours, whenever they put the live feed on, to be able to hit up the live feeds and see how they're interacting in the house. I hate the thought of production selecting what they're putting up, and also it defeats the purpose of us not being able to watch it live. Because yes, I did watch some things with BBUSA that were not live. Like if somebody had a YouTube channel that summarized what happened for the day, I would check that out. But I'm not, if they put up 20, 30 minutes of footage, live feed footage that's not actually live, I probably won't be as interested. The live aspect of it is a big part of the intrigue, but we'll see what happens. You know, I'm going to do my best whenever they start putting up digital dailies to have recaps of those, summarize those, maybe even provide a little bit of the footage, and we'll go from there.
Do you think you can handle that?